All right, so here is how we're going to make a flower. You are going to, again, start with your loop. Okay. And we're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we're going to close this chain to make a ring. We're going to attach our last chain to our first chain with, sorry about that, with a slip stitch. So you're going to push it through, pull up a loop, but pull that loop right through the first one. Okay? Now we are going to make 12 single crochets into the middle of this ring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, gets a little tighter at the end, 10, oops, 11, and 12. You can pull that little tail that you got there to make it a little tighter. Okay, so now you have this little ring happening. We are now going to work in the back loop. So most crochet projects, when you're working into a stitch, you're working into the whole thing, that little V there. We're going to work in the back loop, which is, here's the front loop, here's the back. So the first thing that we're going to do is half double crochet in the back loop of that first stitch. And now we're going to make a double crochet in the same stitch. Okay. Now we're going to make 2 double crochets in the back loop of every stitch around. So for those of you who aren't sure with the double crochet, I'll do this one slowly. So you yarn over, push it through, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops. That's your double crochet. All right, so we are going to do 2 of those in every single back loop of each stitch all the way around. So pause your video, come back, but very, very important, do not close your rounds. So when you're done, just come back. Okay, so now that you've finished that round, I would recommend that you use a stitch marker to keep track of your rounds. And some of you might have a little fancy one. I just use a piece of different color yarn and stick it there. And that's just going to help you to keep track of where your rounds start and end. So for this next round, you are going to do, oh, sorry, so hold on to your little stitch marker for the first one. Now again, we're working in the back loop. So you're going to do 2 half double crochets in that first stitch. Sorry, it's a little awkward for me when I'm starting out with the stitch marker. All right, so 2 in that first one. And then 1 in the next. And then 2 in the following stitch. And 1 in the next. And you're going to follow that all the way around. Okay, so now that you finished that round, the next one is kind of similar, where you're going to do 2 double crochets in the back loop of the first stitch. And then you're going to do 1 in the next 2 stitches. So you're just going to do 1 double crochet in the following 2 stitches. And then you're going to do 2 in the next one. And you're going to follow that all the way around. So just did 2, you're going to do 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2, 1, 1, 2, all the way around and come back. Okay, so now you have this big beautiful circle. This is going to be the base of your flower. So we are going to half double crochet in the first stitch of this next round, single crochet in the next one, and we're going to slip stitch the next full stitch, not the back loop. So slip stitch, pull out a big bunch, and you're just going to fasten that off. And that's going to be, you can pull the stitch marker out now. That's going to be the foundation of your flower. Okay, so now we'll work on the petals. Okay, so we are going to attach our yarn to the very first stitch. We're now going to be working in the front loop, okay? This gets a little awkward with how I have to hold it, so bear with me. So you gotta find your very first stitch. Put your hook through, like that. Take your yarn where you already made your little loop, attach it, pull it through, okay, and there you go. Now, you're gonna chain 1. Oh, sorry, that's a bad view. So you're gonna chain 1, okay, and then you're gonna single crochet in the same stitch. So going back into that very same one, single crochet, okay. Now you're gonna chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and you're going to triple crochet or treble crochet, I don't know, whatever it's called. I hear all these different terms, but let's call it triple because it's 3. You're going to triple crochet into the same stitch. So 1, 2 times around your hook, go into that same stitch, pull up another loop. So now you should have 4 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. Okay, now we're going to do 2 triple crochets in the front loop of the next stitch. So 2 of them going into this very next one. Okay, so 1 and 2. Okay. And then we're going to do 1 more in the following stitch, 1 more triple crochet in the following stitch. Oh, sorry. I told you it's awkward. It's such a bad view sometimes. I'm sorry about that. I'm trying my best here. You know what? That got a little loose. Sorry, guys. See? Mistakes happen. I'm going to do that one more time. I like it to look nice. I don't like to leave it like that. Okay? And we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to single crochet into that same stitch. That's 1 complete petal. You're going to follow those steps all the way around. Okay? So let me do one more with you. You're going to single crochet into the next stitch to start the next petal. Okay, chain 3. You're going to do a triple crochet in the same stitch. Okay, now 2 of those in the next stitch beside it. And this is why we didn't close our rounds, because you're just going to keep going like this all the way until you come to the very end, and it's gonna look so pretty. I love this flower. Okay, so we're gonna do one more, oops, in that following stitch. Chain 3 and single crochet in that very same stitch you just did the last triple crochet. There you go. Now you've got 2 petals. So just keep going all the way around and come back. Okay, so when you're done, this is what your flower should look like. And you can see I've left a long tail when I started. Well, kinda, that'll probably just get tucked in, but a really long one when I finished. So what I'll do is take my headband, decide where I want it to go, and with a yarn needle, I'm just gonna sew it in, just kind of all over the place, get it really nice and snug and secure. I usually do it all the way around the edge and then sort of randomly in different spots inside. And you're just gonna also use your yarn needle to hide these tails, just weave them into the stitches and snip it. It'll be really nice and secure. And if you go to any local craft store, you can get a nice, a package of different kind of buttons. And same thing, using the same color yarn and a yarn needle, just sew your button on, and that's it. You'll be able to attach it by putting it through, and your headband will be complete.